Hi everybody. Well, the cruise is not starting off on a great foot. So, this cruise is starting off on a very rocky time, shall I say. So let's start off with a few incidences that happen. I'm not going to use any names. I just want to give this as an example so people understand how you can get things done and what you have to do in these situations. So, first thing that happened is getting off the plane here in Seattle, my niece Angelina twisted her ankle getting off the plane. It was one of the planes that land on the ground. You don't have a ramp. You have to get off on these small stairs and everything, and very small exit, and she twisted her ankle coming off. So here we are the day before the cruise, twisted ankle. She can't stand on it. We went looking for crutches. We went looking for walkers. We could not find one that was for sale, or most of the medical supply places were closed because it was Saturday and Sunday and they wouldn't open till Sunday. Places that would rent walkers were, or like one of those knee roller ones where you just rest your knee on it and you can go like a stroller kind of thing. Well, they all closed on Sunday, which meant we get off the ship on Sunday, which means we couldn't have returned it. So we finally, and when I went to Scoot Around website, it wouldn't let me book something for the 19th, which is when the cruise set sail. So I finally had to call in to Scoot Around, talk to a very nice lady there, Beverly, and we got everything organized and actually got her a scooter for on board. And so now the most dangerous thing is not her hurting herself anymore. It's her and who she's going to run into. She's driving the scooter around. She's not very dexterous, but she's getting better. She's never driven these kind of things before, and she's nervous of hitting somebody. But yeah, that's how we started the trip. Then I get a call from some passengers who got to drive over to the airport to get on the plane, and then flew to Seattle, landed in Seattle, and realized that their passport was in a fanny pack that they were wearing that slipped off and was still behind in the car that drove them to the airport, their friends. And we were trying to discuss how to get them here and what we could possibly do, but it was, again, the weekend, and a lot of places were closed in the evening because this is when they discovered it, when they got here in the evening. And we were about to call, they were going to go and take the passports into a FedEx office and say, can you same day this over to there? Now, I got on the computer and I started researching it, and I found out that's not how you do it. Because if you need something same day and overnight, that kind of thing, you have to actually call same day, FedEx same day. You can't bring it into one of their offices. You can't bring it into one of their depots. You actually have to call them. They will pick it up from you and deliver it. Now, once they got that, it was very expensive, quite a few $100s, but they were efficient and they got it here with, right away for them. So if that ever happens to you, you forget your passport or some vital pills or anything like that, it's FedEx overnight. They work 365 days a year, 7 days a week, and they will guarantee to get it to you same day. So that's what they did. They got it here. They're on the ship. They're relieved. They're on the cruise. They're having a good time. So that was issue number 2. Sounds like there. And then some really horrible news to me, because we have our very good friends, and I'm just going to say their first name, Richard and Linda. And Linda was not feeling too well, and she ended up going to the hospital and getting checked out. And they decided they want to keep her overnight, which of course will mean that she can't get on the cruise. Good news is she's doing well. She's good spirits and everything. Very sad she's not going to be on the cruise. In fact, this is their first group cruise they're missing. Out of all my group cruises, they've been on every single one up until this date. And they are very, very sorely missed on this cruise. I miss them tremendously. I went over and I saw Richard at the hotel this morning before getting on the ship. He had actually made a bunch of t-shirts to give away as door prizes and everything. So I went over to meet him for that and asked how Linda was doing. And he says, don't worry about her. She's doing fine. So that's good news. But again, I had to call in, cancel the cruise for them so they could start with their insurance and collect all that. It's, yeah. And then we had other guests. Yeah, it's not over yet, folks. We haven't even gotten on the ship yet. And then I had some guests call me and say, guess what? Flight got delayed in Chicago, and we ended up having to spend the night in Chicago, flew in this morning, and our luggage isn't going to get here. Our luggage is nowhere to be found. So they said, we're going to head to Target, and we're going to grab some stuff, and we'll meet you on the ship. What time is the maximum latest we can get on the ship? So I told them that, and the good news is that the airlines gave them about $600 each for clothes, which they put towards the clothes they bought at Target. And then rushed to the ship and made it on the ship and everything. They're still going to have a good cruise, and then they get to figure out where their luggage is after that. But the good news also is that they didn't have any really important medication or anything in the suitcases. That stuff was with them, and their passports and everything, so they were able to get on the ship. It's just... so I thought bad news comes in threes, and we had 3. And then it went into 4. And that was the start of the cruise. But guess what? Every single one is in good spirits, and every single one seems to be having a great time on the cruise. And I am too, because people here are on this cruise are amazing as always. Everyone is so nice to me, and Princess is living up to their reputation for my groups and putting on a really good, fun evening. Everyone enjoyed their meal tonight. Everyone was comfortable. We had the whole section set aside for us in the dining room, ready for us to go. No issues, nothing like that. Our cocktail parties in a couple days. We'll hand out a bunch of prizes there, and everyone just, I just informed everybody when everything's going to happen. And other than that, it's a very easygoing, relaxed cruise to a beautiful part of the world in Alaska. And tomorrow's a sea day. We can sleep in a little bit, and then we can get ready for Ketchikan the next day. Ketchikan is going to be a busy day, because we have Ketchikan, and then at 4 o'clock is our cocktail party. And in the evening, we also have a gentleman on board, Dan Middleton, and he is an Elvis impersonator. And he's a really nice guy. I met him before. We even did the wake show in the morning that you would see on the Princess ship together one time. And I think he's going to put on another fantastic show, and I can't wait to see him. So I told everyone to make sure they go see him, because he's very energetic and very entertaining and a lot of fun. So I'm really glad he's on board. Again, Olivia is a doll here, the cruise director, and so and at least the good news that came out of this is in the Yes No game show, I won. I finally beat somebody. And funny enough, it's also the same person I beat the last time I won. And she remembered. So I guarantee you, the next time I see Olivia on a cruise ship, she's going to be out for blood and want to knock me out as fast as possible.